a collage that's sort of a landscape, and I use primarily torn paper. With this, I try to follow 3 basic rules. One of them is only or primarily use my hand to tear the paper and not a scissor. The second one was to work top to bottom so that it has a sense of depth. With landscapes, and you usually have to work that way because details will be up front. The third rule that I tried to follow was work with the organic shape that you end up with when you tore the paper, and try to fit it in the place so where you want it to go. So how you tore the paper was just as important as to which direction you put it on the paper. So there was a lot of sort of negotiation that was happening while I was working. Again, I think I would work or think a little deeper about the sky in my landscape, because the yellow there does suggest sort of a sky behind the trees, but I would like to be a lot more intentional about it. So again, mistakes are good. They allow you to, in the future, when you work on the same type of media, now be armed with that information in your head. So I'm happy with the results, but like in every work that we make, we always sort of reflect back and say, if we were to do it again, what would we do different? Anyway, but I'm very happy with it, and I hope you enjoy this video. So one of the reasons why I make these videos is I think it's important to understand that a lot of times artists come up with specific rules, and by rules I mean like limitations, by which they will follow, and then this artwork will be produced. And in doing that, you really start becoming a lot more innovative in your solutions. And as a teacher, I often will purposely give kids limitations and I guess you could say rules, but primarily limitations, like they can only use this many or these many colors, or you can only work within this space. And I think when you give limitations, you allow kids to really innovate, really think outside the box, and start problem solving. And that feeling of problem solving is sometimes frustrating. So when making art and you do these rules, it is very frustrating because you're trying to follow these specific rules and abide by these limitations, and you have walls, and it's frustrating. So as a teacher, seeing frustration in kids when they're working is absolutely normal, and it's important to be there to sort of let them know that this is a normal process that happens. Frustration and not giving them the answers, just sort of allowing them to work through and come up with a solution on their own, and making them realize that every single child in that class will have a different solution to the problem that you presented, and the problem here being the limitation. So I find this sort of a very important lesson, that when we're working with students in the art room, that limitations are actually a innovation creator, or an innovation generator, creativity generator, and that frustration in the classroom, making mistakes, and not liking something you're doing and trying to work around that, all those things are a gold mine, because that means that the kids are actually thinking, they're processing, they're working through problems, they're trying to find solutions. So when you see frustration, that means there's gears turning in their heads. And last thing I forgot to mention was, I'm sure you're asking yourself, why is it important to have limitations? It's important to have limitations because all through life, we have a goal in front of us, whatever that may be, and it's never a clear path to that goal. And there are always going to be limitations in front of us. And in creating those scenarios, parallel to life in the classroom, you are training students to not shy away from limits, not shy away from these walls that present themselves, but to think outside the box, and figure out ways to get to their goal, and go around these limitations, go through these limitations, work with the limitations, whatever it is that needs to happen. They are benefiting from that experience that you're providing in the classroom. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video so that you can get my future videos on your feed. Have a wonderful day.